In this episode, I'm going to tell you why you need to stay warm when it's cold outside. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? My name is Michael Sahno, and welcome to the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast. This is the podcast of professional tactical fitness. This podcast is, of course, brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness, home of professional tactical fitness. Head on over to www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com and find out how we can help you. Link in the description below. This podcast is also brought to you by, we got some new sponsors, Gators Eyewear. Oh my gosh, I love them, love them, love them. I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll go into it more in the end. Just absolutely awesome eyewear if you're looking for good tactical eyewear. This podcast is also brought to you by another new sponsor, Condor Outdoor. We love them. I have been using Condor since years ago. When I think one of my first plate carriers was a Condor plate carrier, and I've been using them for tactical fitness for literally over a decade. They make some great stuff at great prices, so check them out. Again, link in the description below. This podcast is, of course, also brought to you by Thorne Fitness. Why are they so great, and why do I use them? Because what's on the outside of the bottle is inside the bottle. You can trust it. It's third party checked. So yeah, you're getting the good stuff. And finally, we are also brought to you by RDX Sports, makers of some of the best combat sports and fitness equipment on the planet. We use them. I use them for Muay Thai, their gloves. I also use a bunch of their equipment for the fitness routines. Again, link in the description below, and I'll go over all of these and what they can do for you at the end of the video. Now, I said something in the opening that might not make sense if you're going outside, or is sort of a kind of a, well, no shit type of thing. So I said, what did I say? You want to stay warm. If you're going to go out in the cold, you want to stay warm. So yes, you absolutely do. So we had this Arctic cyclone thing. As most of you know, I'm across the river from West Point, and it's been incredibly cold. One of my favorite parts of the week is my Tuesdays, and I go over and I shoot. I'm a pistol instructor at West Point. Keep the cadets from, blowing their faces off. But it's something I love to do. But it has been so cold that I don't want to get in the truck. I don't want to warm up the truck. I don't want to go outside, let alone go across that bridge. And it's going to be it. And on the West Point side of the river, it's always about maybe 2 to 3 degrees colder. So, that's in my head. I don't want to do it. I've been doing it. But it's just been bone ass cold. And on top of that, I made a commitment on this podcast and in the newsletter to spend the winter working out outside my barn in the back. Oh my gosh. It's been so cold. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Peter Madura, this sip is for you. Awesome. So I've been going out into the barn, to the garage in the back where I have all my gym stuff. Okay. And I made that. What did I do? I made that commitment in November. And in November, and normally up here, it doesn't get below 20 something degrees. Normally it's in the 30s somewhere. Even if it snows and the snow, it's cold enough for the snow to stick, it never really gets below 27 degrees. It has been every night in the tens and the singles, and every once in a while below zero. And I've been going out, and it's horrible. No, it's fine. It's just, you get out there and you're hurting for the first 10 minutes, for the first 10, 15 minutes. You are physically hurting. So I do 2 parts. I work out twice a day. My first workout, and it may not seem like a big workout, but I put on a weight vest, and I go and I truck back and forth a mile. If you've been reading the newsletter, one of the exercises that I gave was, if you measure out 96 feet and you travel 96 feet 55 times, or back and forth 27 and a half times, that's a mile. Now, a mile in nice weather, yeah, that's not really that bad. A mile bundled up in clothing with a weight vest on, out in the elements, in 15 degree weather, in 20 degree weather, is freaking cold. It's difficult. It's your body. It takes a toll on your body. So not only are you experiencing, the metabolic effects of the exercise, but there's also that shiver response, where you just can't get warm. So your body engages what we call the shiver response. And that takes a lot of fuel. Shivering takes a lot of fuel. There was a study done on people who fidget, and their body mass was something like 5 to 10 times less. People who, their foot, their knees, like, you ever watch someone and their like knees bouncing up and down? That's someone who's got a what is it? They're just fidgety. But they did a response on that, and what the effects on fidgeting, and it turned out that it uses more fuel, and it actually uses fat as fuel, which I thought was kind of crazy. So fidget more if you want to lose weight. But going out there, one of the things that I've been noticing is my recovery is dog shit. I'm tired in the mornings. I feel like I have the energy to get out there, and thank God for pre-workout, because I do that walk, and then in the evenings I'll go out 3 days a week, and I'll do a muscle group. And originally it was 4 days a week, and it was wearing me out so bad that I had to bring it down to 3 days a week. And then just recently I brought it down to 2 days a week, which I'm going to do for, I think, 2 weeks, with a 5-day a week walk. Okay. Under load with a weight vest on. And doing it that way has helped me be able to recover a little bit better. But I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, why am I'm exercising all winter long. I'm doing full workouts all winter long. Why am I not recovering? Why do I feel beat up? Why do I feel like I'm not getting the benefit of the workout? So I looked it up, and because I'm a sports scientist and I want to know. So I looked it up, and let me put on my old guy glasses. Are you ready? So understanding the impact of cold weather on muscles. So when you finish a vigorous workout, your muscles are in a heightened state of stress. You've been working out. And the cold weather can exacerbate this or make this worse. Muscles tend to tighten and lose heat rapidly in cold environments, which can increase the risk of strains and sprains. This makes it crucial for you to maintain muscle warmth post-exercise to facilitate recovery and reduce the risk of injury. So basically what's happening is, hold on, I'm going to have another sip of coffee. So it's actually right in the name. And that's the funny thing. All these fitness terms, all these physiological terms that we never really dissect to find out, well, wow, that's funny. That's actually what it means. So one of them is, you know how they say warm up your muscles, warm up your joints, warm up your tendons before you do exercise so you don't do an injury. So literally that is what you are doing. You are warming up the muscle. You are making the muscle hotter. Well, honestly, what you're doing, realistically, what you're doing is you're making activity occur within the muscle. The byproduct of that work that occurs inside that muscle is heat. So when you do a warm up and you create activity inside the muscle, you're warming it up. And when it's at a warmer state, it's in a state where that it's basically in the state that you want it to be in for exercise. It's in a higher active, metabolically more active, but basically what that means in layman's terms is your muscles are in the space to do work. Okay. And that's really important. Now, thermodynamics basically dictates that heat is going to go where heat is not. Okay, that's why weather occurs. Okay, that's why your weather changes, because you have warm air one place, and then that warm air goes somewhere else and creates some type of effect on the weather. And all that is that's the transfer of heat from one place to another. The same thing happens in your muscles. So your muscles are heated, your muscles are warmed up. How do you keep that in a cold environment? You bundle up. But problem is there is always going to be some level of heat loss. And I'm getting real sciencey here, sorry. The greater the differential, the greater the heat difference, the quicker the heat movement. So when it's cool out, that's why, you have to put on a warmer jacket when it gets colder out. You have to layer sometimes when you don't have to layer when it's warmer. Sometimes you can only go out and put on a sweatshirt. Sometimes you can go out and only put on a sweatshirt. And that's because the temperature differential isn't so great that you're going to lose heat from the muscles. You're going to lose heat from the body. But when it's tens, teens, single digit, negative, that temperature differential between 98.6, your body, or the elevated heat inside your muscles, that cold's just going to suck that heat right out. And what happens is now your muscles rapidly go from a state of optimal performance for exercise to a state of risk of injury, because you may try to do something that your muscles are not ready to do. That's why when you're out working out, when I work out, and I do this when it's warm already, but this has always been my method. If this method doesn't work for you, don't do it in the warmth. But in the cold, you have to do this method. So I go out there with a timer. I have a timer on my phone. And what I do is in between exercises, I rest for 2 minutes. But that rest is not me sitting down, checking my phone, it's me pacing around, moving, stretching, getting some limb movement, making sure that my muscles stay warm, make sure that I'm still ready for the next exercise. And in between sets, I will do 1 minute of rest. That's it. I hit the timer. Once that minute's up, I go and I get back into placement, preparation for the next lift, for the next squat, for the next curl, for the next whatever. That minute is crucial because it makes sure that my limbs, that my body, that my muscle, my skeletal muscle maintains warmth and stays in a state of readiness for the next exercise, for the next set. If you don't do this, you do run the risk of injury. I have been blessed that my mental timing system has been successful this winter. But I've also, and this is also crucial, and this is super important to ensuring that you don't you don't get hurt, you don't get injured, is I'm reducing my rep range, the number of repetitions that I do, by half in the cold. Why am I doing that? Because I don't want to overtax the system. I want to maintain the system. In the warm weather, that's when I really do my PRs, personal records. That's when I go really hard. That's when I really, really push it. I'm already at a metabolic disadvantage exercising in the cold because of, remember what I talked about, the shiver response. So by limiting the number of reps I do, so normally I'll do 8 to 10 reps. In the cold, once the cold weather hits, I do 5 to 6 reps. That's it. And you'd be amazed at how much you can maintain your gains doing 5 to 6 reps. I do 3 sets too. When it's warmer out, I'll do 5 sets. But I'm out there to be efficient, get good product, and get my ass back inside. And limiting my time and being efficient is what's going to keep my muscles warm. It's what's going to keep me in the zone, so to speak, metabolically, active muscle-wise, towards being able to do what I need to do. I'm doing it. I'm super excited. I just went to, this is how freaking hillbilly I am. I got, you want to know where I got my workout shoes for this winter? I got them at Tractor Supply. They're Field and Stream deck boots. I do my little road march in them, and I also work out in them. Muckers, but they're insulated. They keep my feet warm, and they have great traction. So yeah, hillbilly right there. But I'm doing all this. I'm wearing tights underneath my workout pants. I'm wearing a t-shirt, a base layer, a sweatshirt, and a jacket when I go out to work out. I'm doing all that because I have to maintain a certain level of warmth. If I don't do that, I risk the potential of becoming injured. Now, one of those layers on top comes away when I do the road march because I'm expending energy over time and I don't want to overheat. But that is crucial when you're out there. Now, when you get done with your workout, I'm gonna have another sip of coffee. I am rambling. All right, so I'm rambling for a purpose. So when you get done, you have got to do things to maintain that muscle warmth when you're done. Because you're going to experience from your workout to being in the comfort of your home in that slim amount of time, you are going to be radiating heat. That heat is going in your muscles, is going to be leaving your body so fast it's not even funny. I actually want to get like an infrared little scope thing and see what it's like. Have my son videotape it. But so some of the things you want to do to warm up, warm baths. A warm bath is more than just a relaxing experience. It's a therapeutic tool for your muscles. The warmth helps in loosening tight muscles. So that's important. So one of the things that's going to happen is immediately after you're done, with this sort of basically evaporation of heat from your body, but this your body's going to discharge so much heat, and it's going to be so rapid that your muscles are going to tighten up. I feel it in my hands and in my back a lot as soon as I'm done. So the warmth helps in loosening tight muscles, enhancing blood flow, and speeding up the recovery process. Aim for a bath that is comfortably warm but not scalding, and soak for around 15 to 20 minutes for optimal benefits. I do a shower. I do a nice, beautiful hot shower. And you know that thing where you do a hot shower and then you do a cold shower? Don't do that. Not at this time of year. At this time of year, you just want to put warmth back into your muscles, back into your body. They also say sauna sessions. Saunas are excellent for muscle recovery. The heat improves circulation, aids in muscle relaxation, and can even help to flush out toxins. Regular sauna sessions post-workout can significantly improve your recovery time and overall well-being. That is, for me, I do my sauna in the shower. So I'll probably be in there. I am like, I can hear my dad growing up. What the hell are you doing in the shower? So I'm in there for a while, and it's because I just want to get all of that warmth back into my body. Now, this next one is incredibly important. Nutrition and hydration. So your body's need for nutrients and hydration intensifies in winter. Focus on consuming a balanced diet rich in proteins, healthy fats, and carbohydrates to aid muscle repair. Also, staying hydrated is key, even if you don't feel as thirsty as in the summer months. And that's one of the big things that they told us in winter warfare training, is that you got to make sure, and this is where a lot of this comes from. It's actually funny because a lot of this came back into my head. So you want to stay hydrated. It's incredibly easy to become dehydrated in the winter because your thirst response, you're not sweating, you're not evaporating water from your body in the same way as you do in the summer. In the summer, you do it through sweat. A lot of it in the winter is, I think it's called aspiration. Basically, you're breathing out a lot of that humidity that's inside your airways, and it's quickly being replaced. Because what did I say? Heat wants to get out. So it's quickly being replaced. That air is removing. And when that air is removed from your lungs, it's got water vapor in it. And over time, pretty quickly, actually, you can become dehydrated. I got dusty hands. I hate it. Oh, my legs too. It drives me nuts. So make sure you're hydrated. The other thing that is super duper important is carbohydrates. So remember I talked about that shiver response. You need fuel for that shiver response. That shiver response is going to quickly deplete when you're out in the cold. It's going to quickly deplete a lot of that glycogen stores. Glycogen is just sugar that's stored in the body. Muscle glycogen, that's sugar stored in the muscles. Liver glycogen, liver that is stored in the liver and released into the bloodstream. And of course, what are we talking? Blood sugar. You're also going to wind up dipping in. You're not going to run out, but you may experience a little bit of, it'll deplete quickly. Okay. Before the body switches over to fat for fuel. And if you're working out versus doing some type of aerobic exercise, if you're doing aerobic exercise, you're not going to run out because you're going to switch over to fat for fuel. Your body's just made that way. But if you're lifting weights outside, you're doing anything heavy lifting outside, that you're going to have to keep those glycogen stores, that body sugar, topped off. So eat a Cliff Bar, eat a Luna Bar, you know what I mean? Before you go work out, it will definitely help. All right. So I hope I covered everything. I hope I helped anyone who has any questions about this stuff. If you have any questions, always reach out to me. And yeah, that's all I really got on this subject. I'll keep you guys posted on how I'm doing. I'm actually, as soon as I get done with this, I'm putting on the vest and I'm hopping out there. But yeah, so this podcast is, of course, brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness, the home of professional tactical fitness. We have got a ton of new stuff. I'm revamping the website. I'm removing a lot of the watches, the fitness gear, and we are just going to have on the website, I think, all the branded stuff. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see I got the brand new ball cap with the flash on above the left eye. I love this thing. We've got it in all kinds of colors. We've got new beanies for winter, so go over, check that out, get them. Brand new t-shirts. I've got 12 t-shirts right now and a bunch of different sweatshirts. All of them, please help support us by wearing our brand. I would love it. Also, you can reach me through Sea and Land Fitness. You can check out this podcast. You can see our newsletter. You can see all the articles that I write. And yeah, just head on over there and check it out at www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com. And we are also brought to you by Gators Eyewear. So I am super excited to basically tell you guys that we're carrying some of the coolest tactical sunglasses on the planet. We're a new dealer for them. It's going to be a little while before I get it up and get product up there, but I will put a link in the description below, so you can go over to the site, the Gators Eyewear website, and pick yourselves up some. They've got all kinds of different styles, a bunch of different colors, and they're freaking awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. We are also brought to you by Condor Outdoor, and I just got the Phalanx. This has got weight plates in it, so if you're watching YouTube, I'm testing the brand new Phalanx plate carrier, which I said as soon as I'm done with this podcast, I'm going to go do my little road march. Well, that's the plate carrier I'm going to be carrying. So go on over to the link in the description below. Check it out. They've got a ton of stuff. They got a ton of clothing. We're actually going to be using their short sleeve and long sleeve athletic performance shirt. We're going to brand that and have that in the store at some point in the future. So head on over to the link in the description below. Condor, thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. Thorne, you guys are rock stars. I use them. I have a, what do I got? I have a dispensary that is actually on their website for Sea and Land Fitness. So you can get all the stuff that I use at 10% off. And if there's something on there that you want, something on there that you think is, wow, I got to get this. I love Thorne. Let me know, and we will put it in the dispensary for you at 10% off. And then finally, RDX Sports, you guys rock. We use them for all kinds of stuff, not just their boxing and combat sports stuff. I use them for their Muay Thai, but we also have, and you can see if you're watching this on YouTube, their focus pad mitts, and we use them for positive response when you do your knee raises. So you raise your knee, rather than hit the hands, you have that real positive response, that noise, so you know, hey, I'm impacting it right. So their gear is awesome. It's bomb proof and it's really inexpensive. Head on over to the link in the description below and use the code that's in the description in your cart, and you'll get 10% off. Thank you, all you guys. I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate all of you. Later, honey badgers. Honey badger actual out.